Salutations gaming enthusiasts, George Nerd here. Today I'm here to discuss everybody's favourite little headache machine. No, I said everybody's favourite little headache machine, not the infamous goggles of death.
There we go. Of course, the 3DS never gave me a headache, and I, in fact, prefer to play with the 3D slider up. I think it was a marvellous feature that greatly enhanced my enjoyment and immersion of the games.
This, of course, is an opinion shared by everybody who played a 3DS, as the 3D feature was very popular.
Welcome to my 700 subscribers special video! It seems I took a little bit too long making this. Oh well. The 3DS was the delightful little handheld which was with me through my teenage years. It was what I played during my downtime at college. Though honestly, it seems to have far fewer impactful games for me than the DS or Wii, making this top 5 very easy to compose, whereas the DS and Wii will be a top 10 video and those will be way more difficult to choose the entries for. I got my 3DS on launch day, and the 3DS's launch was pretty rough, with very few games available at first. I had no games for it for a while, which led to me playing around with the built-in features a lot. I most enjoyed the AR games, and wish it got an expansion, and the camera app, which actually started my lifetime interest in photography. I actually considered for a moment including the camera application in this list, because it had such a big impact on my life. But I decided against it because it's definitely not a game. Eventually I got my first 3DS game, Nintendogs Plus Cats. A charming little game, but it got old fast. A little while after that, I acquired the first game on today's list. Taking the number 5 spot, we have Pilotwings Resort. Pilotwings is the first game which really made me fall in love with the 3D effect. Woohoo Island felt like this beautiful, real place which I delighted in exploring for ages in free fly mode with the jetpack. I got Pilotwings before getting Wii Sports Resort actually, so this was my first time experiencing the iconic island. Flying around in the various airborne vehicles felt remarkably freeing, the missions were fun, and so was gathering the various collectibles in free mode. I loved finding all the little tidbits of info about the island. They captured my imagination, making me think of stories about the various Miis on my 3DS living their lives there. A wonderfully unique gaming experience for me. The plane is tricky to learn but satisfying to master. The rocket belt offers the most dexterity, allowing you to precisely maneuver around even the smallest crevice. And the glider is extremely relaxing, especially when you're high in the sky at sunset or nighttime. The glider is the aircraft that needs the least input to operate. You just gently guide it when necessary, the air and the wind propelling your flight instead of a noisy engine. It feels so serene, so immersive. And then there's the pedal glider. I'm gonna pass out. It's the opposite of relaxing. I hate this. Yeah, there's also more advanced, faster versions of each aircraft. The jet plane is exhilarating. The super rocket belt is the rocket belt but faster, and the pedal glider gives you the stressful task of cycling a flying bicycle in order to remain aloft. It is not fun. It does allow you to propel yourself upward a little without losing speed, unlike the regular hang glider which needs an updraft to gain altitude, but where the regular glider feels almost effortless, the pedal glider feels like a constant struggle. Also, it has wheels. The wheels are pointless. It would have been a fun idea to have the pedal glider allow you to ride it like a regular bike on land in addition to gliding, but no. Landing just makes the game reset you into the air. Pilotwings Resort feels like a really good Nintendo 3DS tech demo. To me, the 3D effect is used extremely well here, allowing me to judge distances between my aircraft and the environment much easier than it would have been on a console without a 3D screen. I would probably place it higher on this list, but it's not a game that I've really felt all that compelled to return to after having already completed it. And I did 100% complete it. It's one of the very few games I've done that with. It was very fun experiencing all that it had to offer. Once. But it was an excellent tech demo. Pilotwings Resort is one of life's simple pleasures. Speaking of Woohoo Island, I specifically remember thinking it would make a good racetrack for the next Mario Kart, and that the town would make a great battle stage. No joke. And then of course, that actually happened in Mario Kart 7 later in the system's life. Then later still, when Mario Kart 8's DLC was announced, I predicted the return of Cheeseland, and that bells would replace coins and Rossetti would replace Monty Moles in the Animal Crossing track. Clearly, I am a Mario Kart prophet. My next prediction is that Mario Kart 9 will feature a playable chibi robo, and that it'll be called Mario Kart 10 because Nintendo counts Tor. I don't like it either, but you know it's gonna happen. Anyway, you've probably figured out thanks to my masterful segue that my pick for number 4 is Mario Kart 7. Mario Kart 7 was honestly one of the most revolutionary games in the series, which if you ask me was true of all the handheld entries. Super Circuit introduced retro tracks, a huge and beloved staple of the series. DS introduced online play and also refined retro tracks to include entries from every previous game. And 7 introduced kart building, underwater driving and gliders. The things that the home console games introduce are either less interesting additions or cool concepts that never showed up again.
Why did Santa?
Now that 8 is out and it pretty much just does everything 7 did, but just more and better, 7 often gets forgotten about, and I think it's probably the game in the series with the least reason for anybody to revisit it. But still, back when it was still the current Mario Kart, I played it a great deal and really enjoyed it. In fact, I played it so much back in the day that when I tried to play my copy of the game again to refresh my memory of it for this video, I couldn't get the cartridge to work anymore due to overuse. I never really played this one online. A few times I tried it, I would always just be immediately disconnected. But of course I'd often play Mario Kart 7 local multiplayer style with my brother, or with friends when given the chance. Although with this game and all the other Mario Karts before 8, most of my time spent playing it was in single player, just going after those 3-star rankings. In addition to the fun new mechanics it introduced, Mario Kart 7 was also an all-round good entry in the series, with lots of excellent new tracks and battle courses, and it certainly had some interesting new characters. Also, this game continues the strange tradition of the localization for names of karts and courses being different between American and UK versions. That was also present in Wii, but here it's even more pronounced. I'm sorry to say this, Yanks, but it's pretty clear that this time we got better names.
Oh, boo yourselves!
Before we get to the number 3 spot, now seems as good a time as any to have some honourable mentions. We have the usual suspects, New Soup 2, Mario 3D Land, both were enjoyable though very basic outings for the iconic plumber. There's the Mario and Luigi remakes, one of which was a very welcome update to a very dated experience. The other was a thoroughly unnecessary rehash, which was the swan song and final nail in the coffin for poor Alpha Dream. Though I didn't own any of the games myself, my brother got into the Kirby series with the 3DS, and I very much enjoyed playing his copies of Triple Deluxe and Planet Robot, which I thought were excellent games to introduce me into the world of the pink puffball. In fact, 2D platformers actually work very well with the 3D effect, surprisingly enough, though often not helping with gameplay like it does in 3D games, with some exceptions like the creative use of the background and foreground in the aforementioned Kirby game. It can really make the foreground pop and the background just look better. 3D makes the worlds of the games come alive. If you ask me, every game is very much improved by it, much more so than it does for movies since you're actually inside the environment. Let's see, what else haven't I mentioned? Mario Party Island Tour was pretty interesting. My Tennis Open was okay, though its minigames were way better than the main tennis. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't too enamoured with the majority of the games I played on 3DS, and this top 5 was really easy to decide on. Let's get back into it.
Paper Mario. Paper Mario Sticker Star! Paper Mario Sticker Star is not only quite good in my opinion, but it's also my third favourite 3DS game!
Yes, I know this is a controversial opinion, but I do actually enjoy Sticker Star. I've actually already made a video discussing my history with the game and the stuff I like about it, so I won't be going into much detail here, but please do watch the aforementioned video using the card in the corner. It's a good one. Just remember to come back and watch the rest of this video once you're done. Paper Mario Sticker Star is a game I've replayed at least 4 times, and each time I've really enjoyed it. I can see its flaws, but they largely don't bother me. I think that if Sticker Star was a one-off departure from the norm and the series went back to normal afterwards, people would be much more forgiving. But in the end, people can like what they like and dislike what they dislike. I ain't gonna change anyone's mind, but I know that I like this game's structure, I love its aesthetic, especially with the 3D slider up, its soundtrack is my favourite one in the whole series, and I know for sure that this woodwhacking sound effect is the best damn sound effect to ever grace video games.
Oh, that's such a good woodwhacking sound!
It's not so bad! After the first few hours you learn to tune it out! So, now we reach my number 2 slot, my second favourite game on the 3DS. Excuse me, please, for 1 minute. I'll give you 3 guesses as to what it is.
Mario & Luigi Dream Team is the game in the series with the best vibes. I adore the bright colours, the terrific transition for the series into 3D environments, the locations, the battles. There's so much here to appreciate. It's also another game I've already made a whole detailed retrospective video on, which you can watch using this card.
That video is where this lovely pixel art I did for its thumbnail comes from.
Dream Team was one of the games I played through while I was in college, where I'd often take my 3DS to play it during breaks and while waiting between classes and whatnot.
Sadly, Mario & Luigi Dream Team was the final game in the series that wasn't a remake.
But George, buddy, what about me, your old pal Paper Jam?
Fine, the last good original game in the series.
But there are some things about me that you like. Remember when you said that I have the best battle system in the whole series?
Oh, shut up, I'm not talking to you. That didn't work. Hey, viewers, the joke of that bit was supposed to be like the box on the string would swing that way and then hit me in the head and I would cut to the next bit. The thread was too thin. The thread was too thin. It broke. Bit failed!
For the second time in these videos, my number 1 pick for the console isn't even a Mario game. I promise you that won't be the case ever again, as we go into the consoles I grew up with like the GBA and Wii. But for now, my favourite 3DS game is in fact Animal Crossing New Leaf. I used to adore Animal Crossing. When a new game in the series came out, it became a huge part of my life for at least a year after purchase. New Leaf lasted me over 2 years of regular play though. That hasn't been the case with the latest game though, on account of me not being so keen on it, and other games and stuff I'd rather spend my time on. But back in the day, I'd sink stupid amounts of time into those games, New Leaf especially. Every day I'd log in and check the shops, talk to my digital friends, go fishing, pay off some debts or some public works project, engage in a seasonal activity. It's such a good chill time. This game especially was great because it's the one my sister and mum also used, which was a little annoying to share it with them, but I liked the shared experience. And after all, I was the only one who got to be the mayor. Although they did gain access to Tortimer's Island before me, which I was a bit jealous of for a while because I couldn't figure out how to get there. It was lots of fun being the only one in the family who could do public works projects. Though sadly the day I funded the Reset Centre was the day my mum and sister stopped playing. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. My curiosity got the better of me. New Leaf was also the game I brought with me to college by far the most. Nearly every dinner break I'd take out my 3DS and play some AC. The game had some nice new features along with some smaller quality of life improvements like the ability to stack fruits in your pockets. Tortimer's Island had excellent vibes, was terrific for getting rare bugs, and its minigames allowed Animal Crossing multiplayer to not be as bad for the first and only time. I also really liked the Roost in this game. I like it being its own building. And I remember really enjoying working there too, though I never did find out what to do with those coffee beans. New Leaf gave the player the ability to take screenshots at any time, which I used so much. I'm super thankful for this, since it lets me look at all the good times I had in my town, Roten. And I get to see it still, even though I did the classic Animal Crossing player blunder of erasing that town I spent several years building up for a new start, which I barely even played. Looking back, I definitely should have just bought another copy of the game to experience having a new town. You should always do that, by the way, but back then I wasn't really in a wealthy enough position to just casually buy a game a second time. In the time Roten had though, I amassed over 2 million bells in my account, designed a house I was really proud of, and got New Leaf up to the most played title on my 3DS. Side note, I so miss the 3DS's detailed activity log. It was so nice to see all those statistics. I live for this kind of thing. New Leaf is also my favourite of the Animal Crossing games. It's been with me through so many trips and holidays and parts of my life. You may find it strange that this game tops my 3DS list when New Horizons, a game with far more new features, creative freedom and quality of life improvements than New Leaf, didn't even crack my top 5 Switch games. If you want to know why that is, I strongly recommend you go watch my video, I Missed Animal Crossing. Yep, another topic of discussion that would have made the script several pages longer had I not already made a video about it.
And with that, you now know my 5 favourite 3DS games. Now if you'll excuse me for a second, I need to teach somebody a lesson. This game blows.
Da 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 ba 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 da da ba 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 da da. Everyone loves Scott the Woz references, so please like, comment and subscribe. Please.